Okay, so today we are going to start with Brahmajala Sutta. We can have a lot of discussions on that. It's a very interesting one. Starts with how a pupil and teacher have to be and what happens and all that. So let's start on. So it starts with I will recite in both Pali and English because this is one important sutta which is good to go through Pali because English translation doesn't seem to be really good. I'm not saying it is bad, but it is not up to the mark. In many places, it misses the point. So we start. Ekam samayam bhagava antara cha rajagaham antara cha nalandam adhana maggu patipanno hoti mahata bhikkhu sangena sadhim panchamattehi bhikkhu tatehi. What it means is that Buddha was walking with his bhikkhus, around 500 of them, and they were going around Rajagaha and Nalanda. They were walking. Just like Aryu, if you remember, we went from Nalanda to Rajagaha. The same, or now it is called Rajgir, but it's Rajagaha. So they were walking.
Nalanda is way to the west, right? It's where the
No, we went. If you remember, we went to Nalanda
we went to Nalanda. Okay.
when we were in Patna. Anyway, so Suppiyopi ko paribhajyako antara cha rajagaham antara cha nalandam adhana magga patipanno hoti saddim antevesani brahmadattena manavena. So there is this word called paribhajyak. They put it as wanderers. They are not wanderers. It looks like, somebody is just wandering. Paribhajyak in Pali and parivrajak in Sanskrit means truth seekers. Okay, so the first thing which surprises me is paribhajyak means wanderer. He's not wandering. His job is not to just wander around. He's truth seeker. So the person name is Suppiya. And then there's the word manavena. What is the meaning of this manavena? In the Upanishadic tradition, if somebody is a novice who is just started with his teacher, called as Manava. The Suppiya is a person who has learned a lot of things, and supposed to be novice is Manava. Manava, his name is Brahmadatta. These two people are also going where Buddha and his 500 disciples are going from Rajagaha to Nalanda. तत्र सुदं सुप्पियो परिभाज्यको अनेक पर्यायेन बुद्धस्य अवन्यम भासति धम्मस्य अवन्यम भासति संघस्य अवन्यम भासति. Then, while he is walking with Brahmadatta, Suppiya, the teacher, is informing the disciple about the danger the Buddha Dhamma Sangha is bringing. Okay. Anvannam. Vannam means appreciation. Avannam means depreciation. So Suppiya is saying what problems or what issues Buddha Dhamma Sangha is bringing to his disciple Brahmadatta. Suppiyasa pana paribhajakassa ante vasi Brahmadatto manavo aneka pariyayena buddhassa vannam bhasati dhammassa vannam bhasati sangassa vannam bhasati. While the student who is a novice Manava, Brahmadatta, is appreciating what Buddha is doing, what Dhamma is doing, what Sangha is doing. Now we might be surprised that in general, religious traditions don't allow a teacher and student to have different views. The teacher should have one view and the student should have only that. But if you see the Vedic and the Upanishadic tradition, you can have difference of opinion and it's appreciated. So the Suppiya, who is searching for truth, he knows that Brahmadatta is also searching for truth. He also knows that Buddha is searching for truth. And he also knows the 500 disciples of Buddha are also in search of truth. So what they are finding is truth and nothing else. So there is no question of not having different viewpoints. So it's very evident that the Vedic and the Upanishadic thoughts, because they didn't have anything called as religion, they're just seekers of truth. That's it. There's nothing to say you are part of my religion or my tradition or my this and my that, which has now become even in Buddha teaching. You say, I am from Burmese tradition, Sri Lankan tradition, and Thai tradition, and Mahayanic tradition, and this tradition, that tradition, which is not truth. It's baseless. Why? It leads nowhere because you are supposed to seek truth. Comes from anywhere, it doesn't matter. It's all about removal of the rebirth. That's it. That's the only truth we are in search for. We're not in search for any kind of religion, tradition, this and that, and all that funny things. So, hence, the Paribhajaka, in this case, Suppiya and Brahmadatta, they have totally against view, not just a view, against. So what Suppiya is saying, Brahmadatta is not accepting and is still a novice, Manava. So there is a term in Vedantic or the Upanishadic tradition. It starts with Pamara, means just like in the Buddha teaching, you have somebody who cannot get anything. When you start, you don't know anything. So Pamara. Then the person is Vishayi, meaning one who is seeking, started to seek something, trying to find out. So this person, Brahmadatta, is a Vishayi. And the person who gets everything is Siddha. Yep. So basically, his student is just a Vishayi. Vishayi means one who is in lookout for knowledge and hence called Manava. If it was some other teacher, he would have banished him out, saying that you are not my student. I'm talking, what's the problem with Buddha Dhamma Sangha? And you are appreciating Buddha Dhamma and Sangha. I don't like you to be my student. Get out. go wherever you want. But that's not the case. Yes. Yes.
Why is it called manava? Like, what is the meaning of that? Because mana usually means the
Vanity.
vanity. Yeah. But how
We,
is
we,
that
we all
tricky?
are manava. We have vanity.
Sure, but why is it attributed to seeking? How does that connection work?
Who is seeking? You. Who is you?
Okay.
Ego.
Oh,
So the starting you is ego. I want to
right.
search. I want to learn. I want to be here. I want to be there. So
Okay.
when you start on the search path, you have ego.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. You want to say something or you just okay? I
No,
thought
no, I wasn't, but I was thinking even person who doesn't seek have an ego. Not only that,
fair,
seekers have ego.
fair. But then who is seeking? The ego which is seeking.
I guess in some perspective, only when you start seeking, the ego become more apparent. Because for normal people, they don't even think about
That's
ego.
fair. Again, it's fair. But what I'm saying is in this context, superior is a higher leader. This person has just started. But he's praising the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. So you need to look at that. There is an acceptance for having exactly contrasting viewpoint. And yet you can go together, your teacher. Yes, Shreyas, you are saying something or you want to say something?
Yeah. I mean that is such a nice thing, right? Because end of the day, you're truth seekers. That is what matters to you, and it
Exactly.
doesn't really matter if you have fully contrasting views or if it's the same view. In the book that Aryu had given, uh, so the author was talking about how people used to just ask, "What is your dhamma? What is your dharma? What is the teaching that you follow?" And what is the religion that you follow? So that was such a nice thing, actually.
Yes. So now when the religion comes into existence, it creates boundaries, it creates walls, it creates conflict. Because then you would say, what I know is right and what you know is wrong. If you are not in our thing, then you will go to hell. Then the question comes that I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to get into hell. Then either I have to vanquish you because you are having a wrong knowledge, or if I am having a wrong thing as per you, then you convince me, then I will convert myself to that religion. Because then you're taking me to heaven. So, number one, you need to incite greed. Number two, you have to incite hatred. Then you have to incite delusion. Ragadvesha moha will not take you anywhere. Right? This is the issue what we have today. So it's better that somebody comes and says that what you're saying, I don't agree and I'm from so and so tradition. Okay, just leave it. Don't argue on that because that's the next thing what Buddha says. Somebody does like this, just listen to it, come back, reflect upon it, go back and tell that person that this is what you meant and this is how it should be. If the person is incapable, just leave him. That's a that's a thing what we need to do. So in the present time, when it is so traditionally driven, you can't seek. You have to accept to the tradition. And that's a horrifying thing to have. They will not talk to you without accepting their tradition. And that means it's dangerous. So what you should do? You should do it on your own. You have come to a stage where you have to find your own escape path. Just like the plane has caught fire and there is nobody to tell you how to have an exit, right? And you are seeing the fire. You find exit. Don't look at the exit board. Don't search for the floor path light. That might not even happen. The floor path light is already burnt away. So if you say that in my book it is written, you have to find the floor path light, you will also get burnt. Yep. The plane has crashed, you are alive, you better get out. Simple. Yes.
One more thing. The concept of Pamara and the Vishayi and the Siddha that you mentioned is interesting because the vanity is so much that even if the person is Vishayi, you cannot convince them that, see, you're not Pamara, you are Vishayi. You do understand things. Because it is so traditionally driven, like you said, it's too difficult to, get them out of that.
Yep.
So you can't really do anything except do it on your own and just go.
Yes. So in this present context, if you get some spiritual friend like what we are today, that's the max you can expect. The remaining thing, you need to find it. Because it's so traditionally driven. And it is country driven. It is whatever driven. And then you say it is mine. Just like now there is an obsession in Sri Lanka the last few years. They are saying Buddha was born in Sri Lanka for a change. They say that not in Nepal. And when somebody asks him, show me even one place of Sri Lanka which is mentioned in the Sutta, they don't have an answer, but they still feel it is Sri Lanka. So they say Buddha is Sri Lanka. Or you go to Burma, they say Buddha is Burma. And you go to Thailand, Buddha is Thailand.
Actually, like this?
Pardon?
Is it actually that they're saying like that?
Yes, yes, there is one sect. And even when I was in Sri Lanka, there's one sect saying that Buddha was born in Sri Lanka. They have their own stories, why it is like that. And there's another story that all the Tipitaka is there in the British Museum and they are not giving it. In that original, it is all about Sinhala and all that. So, happens this way. Yes, sir.
I'm just thinking, because any teacher could have their limitation, right? Let's say they are not arhat, they accept they have limitations. They can say, I don't know, right? But let's say something you don't know. I can ask you, you say, I don't know. But
it's not about I don't know. It is about totally contrasting view. I say something, you say I don't agree with it. Yeah. And then what I should do, let's say you and I having a teacher and student relationship, and I say something, you reject it. Again, say something, reject.
I'm the student.
Yes.
No. In this case, me being a student, so you're telling me something and I reject.
Exactly. So you reject. You not only reject, you praise that other person. He is praising Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha.
But let's say I'm like following a Thailand monk, and I praise something from, let's say, some Sri Lankans are doing. I would get the teacher would disapprove of me, saying you shouldn't be saying like that. But none of them will be. Let's say I bring a valid point for the debate, and even they know it, right? They would say we're not going to answer that. Right? They will not say we don't know.
Yes, right? They will say we don't answer it.
Yeah, they cannot. They wouldn't accept to anything missing from that.
Yes, which is wrong.
Mm.
Right, and they would feel what we are saying is only right and what others are saying is wrong, what other traditions wrong, and because they have become traditional. When tradition comes into existence, it creates identity, and when identity comes into existence, it creates vivada, meaning debate. When vivada happens, it turns into kalaha, dispute. The kalaha vivada sutta is all about that. So what you wrongly perceive, you hold on to, thinking that Buddha Dhamma is only this. Whatever I know, that is only Buddha Dhamma. There's nothing else. There's nothing else other than that, which is true. Yeah, there is one. Yes, go ahead.
And I was just thinking, but it does not mean it cannot bring you to Arya Magga. It can still bring people to Arya
We
Magga.
don't know that as we go down in the Brahmajala Sutta, you will come to know what takes you to Arya Magga, what doesn't take you to Arya Magga. But let's first digest this much of information that you can have a completely contrasting view. And yet the teacher is not furious because he is praising the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Teacher is saying, danger Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Avanna. Vanna is very nice term in Pali and Varna in, it's about explaining what it is and what is not. What it means. It talks about, like if I'm saying Vanna, I'm talking about what are the good qualities that is there. That's called Vanna. And Avanna is, I'm talking about what are the bad qualities. Cite an example. If I went to go into the Tibetan, if I don't see anything in Tibetan, then I can do a Avanna, show the dark side, show the negative side, show the danger, show the problem. That is Avanna. And if we say Vanna, means show the good side of it, show the positive side of it, show the advantages of that. That's what it means. It's not about appreciating, depreciating. That's not in real sense. So the student and the teacher are debating between what is that Buddha Dhamma Sangha is and what is not. So the teacher is saying what issues are there in Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Whereas Brahmadatta is saying what are the advantages of being in Buddha Dhamma Sangha. You got the point. It's not about blaming the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. If I take Avanna and I say that they are contradicting is correct, but then there's that criticizing. He is not criticizing. If you see the sutta, if you read the sutta, it says criticizing. He is not criticizing. Teacher is not criticizing. He is bringing out problems. If a person thinks bringing out a problem is criticizing, no, it's a critical inquiry so that we know what the real is. So the teacher is talking critically, examining the Dhamma Sangha and saying negativity is darkness, problems, challenges, whatever we want to use those words, say why one should not go for Buddha Dhamma Sangha. And the student is then saying What are the advantages? What is the positive? How it would help if one were to. So now what has happened here is they have put a praise and blame like a worldly convention. The eight worldly convention. These people are paribhajaka. They are not in this world. Talk about, I praise Buddha, how idiot are you, and like that. They are very achieved people. And hence, when they used to talk to Buddha, he used to get it. They are not some simple beggars who just come to Buddha and say, hey, you guy, you're sitting there, what do you think you are? And then Buddha says something. No. So the way it is put in English, give us an opinion that Brahmadatta is praising, and we get hooked onto that, because if we like Buddha, then we get hooked onto it. Look how good is Brahmadatta, and the superior who is a teacher. That is not a good teacher. As though we know who is superior. Why we should not do like that? Because it brings hurdle to us. Never, without knowing teacher or yourself, criticize any teacher, living or dead. That means Ajancha to Sayadaw to whomever. I shouldn't criticize, including Goenka. I might not agree with that viewpoint. That's okay. That's fair. Because I've seen that there are many other things you can do. But that doesn't give me a right to criticize. I'm not criticizing, neither praising. There's nothing to praise, nothing to criticize. I am looking from liberation perspective of the chitta, not in terms of whether it's a Goenka or a Sayadaw or a Ubakin or a Jan or some Thero or whatever. Nothing doing. Or even Dalai Lama or anything, any tradition, including Upanishadic tradition. Don't care much. It's truth, it's truth. Even Islam, even Christianity, even whatever it is, doesn't matter. Because you have different flavors of food. You want to eat something, go and eat. You don't want to eat it, don't blame that hotel. Simple as that. Doesn't make sense. I blame. So, first thing we need to learn in Brahmajala, not to get into the net, is not to criticize, nor appreciate. Use your prudence. Investigate. Is true? Take it. Like Osho. Some people follow Osho. Fair. Fine. I dislike Osho. Who cares whether you like or dislike? I don't like Sadhguru. Okay. Who cares? But just by I not liking, is he going to anything to happen to him? It's not about whether I need to like this person or dislike this. I need to see whether I follow what he says will give me Nibbidda, Viraga, Nirodha, Upasamaya, Abhinyaya, Sambodhaya, Nibbana. These seven I need to put for everyone. If I see it doesn't bring there, no need. Whether Satguru or this Guru or that Guru, it doesn't matter. Because it doesn't bring. And there is nothing on the table for me to take it. Doesn't make sense. But that still doesn't give me right to criticize. Because I'm in seeker of truth. Seeker of what truth? How to stop rebirth. That's the only truth I'm seeking. Not about how this person is or that person is. That's still rebirth person only what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter how I should be. I should be a person who is nothing else. No person. I'm not seeking a person. Sorry. So in this particular case, Paribhajaka Suppiya and Brahmadatta, they have contrasting view, not because Brahmadatta wanted to praise the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, nor that Suppiya wanted to criticize the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Suppiya wanted to make sure his people understand the wrong views of Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha and the danger, and then the negativity or the darkness of Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, while his disciple Brahmadatta trying to explain to his teacher why Buddha Dhamma Sangha is good, why one should follow it, what are the positives of it, how it leads on. So then I'll skip. So then he says here, Accharyam mavuso, abhutam mavuso, yavanchidam tena bhagavata janata pasata arhata samma sambuddhena sattanam nanadi muktikata supati vidita. So he's saying that it's really amazing that this kind of diverse conversation can be done between a teacher and a student. While the teacher is talking the negativity of the Dhamma Sangha, while his student is talking positive. So then Buddha comes there and then he says, Mamam va bhikkhave para avannam bhaseyum dhammassa va avannam bhaseyum sanghassa va avannam bhaseyum tatra tumehi na aghato na apacchayo na chetaso anabhiradhi karaniya. Karaniya, don't do. Mamam va, me, mine. Pare avannam bhaseyum. If somebody talks negativity, darkness about me, or they talk about the Dhamma, or they talk about the Sangha, don't get upset. Aghata is the word. Aghata, used in Kannada also. Aghata means disturbance, annoyance, upset. So don't do that. And then apacchayo. Don't get worked up. Don't get bitter because they are disrespecting my teacher, Dhamma teaching, and this. So he asked this question: Mamam va bhikkhave pare avannam bhaseyum dhammassa va avannam bhaseyum sanghassa va avanneyum bhaseyum tatra te tumhi asatta kupita va anattamana va api nu tumhi paresam bhasitam dubhasitam ajaneya ta iti. Is asking, even before you understood what they are saying, you get upset. Do you truly understand whether they are appreciating me or depreciating, talking positive about me or negative about me, or the Dhamma. So he's saying, Mamam va bhikkave pare avannam bhasayum dhammassa va avannam bhasayum sangassa va avannam bhasayum tatra tumehi abhutam abhutato nibetta tabbam. Abhuta, a very good word, bhuta, yatha bhuta gnya. What is bhuta? How it has come to be, how it has become, how it should be seen. All these three are something to do with bhuta. In Sanskrit, in Pali, and in almost all Indian languages, you have something called bhut. Nowadays, people don't use this word bhuta, and it has become like ghost. But bhuta is not ghost. Bhuta is how it has become, how it is. Meaning, if somebody is named Vilas, yatha bhuta jnana means how Vilas has come to be. So, what Buddha is saying is, you explain to them about the bhuta and abhuta, how it has become and how it has not become, rather than getting upset over what they are saying. So, you should explain to them that what is Buddha, what is Dhamma, rather than saying, how can you talk about my teacher and my tradition and all that? It's in your good interest that you did not get upset. Not in somebody's good interest. In your good interest that you did not get upset. So, take a step back. Don't get connected with that words of what you think they're criticizing. Okay. So, Dubhasita Subhasita is again a good word. Do and do. Hasa means to talk. Do means good. Do means bad. Means if somebody has done bad things, you should talk bad about it. You can't talk good about it. If somebody has done good, you have to talk good about it, not talk bad about it. But sometimes there can be some confusion between what is good, because a perception, what is bad, which is also a perception. So when that happens, it is up to the person to establish that why he is good. Yatha bhuta, as the bhuta. I'll give one live example, which I'm supposed to be doing it in the coming 2 weeks. I need to go to the embassy. And so also Shreyas. When we go to the embassy, we're not going there for fun anyway. And those people sitting there, their job is to protect their country. They are not doing personal things, they are protecting the country. So, they are not supposed to allow anyone coming in the US, whether as an immigrant or a non immigrant. So, they would ask questions. Now, when they ask questions, it is up to the person who is responding to provide facts. It's not the questioner's problem. It is problem of who is seeking to enter into US. So, even if I don't like it, or even if I like, I need to provide document. Even though it looks ridiculous, but yatha bhuta, I have to establish the proof that why I need to be allowed to go to US. As simple as that. There's no personal there. They're asking me a set of questions and I'm doing an answer. So I have to give all the documentation. The same way when Shreyas goes next month for his H1B, I all the document. that. So that's bhuta. Abhuta means what is not true, meaning I just walk into the consulate and they say, Vilas, we were waiting for you. Here is a visa. No, that's not. Shreyas enters and he says, yeah, Shreyas, I think you're the person who requires H1B. Here it is. His company has to substantiate why Shreyas needs to be there in the US on work. They are doing their job. They are not playing around. So, should Shreyas be completely, what I can say, prepared for it? The answer is yes. Irrespective whether he believes in Buddha, Dhamma, Sanghas, all that, he needs to be prepared. Because they can ask any question. There's some typical questions, but still they can ask. In the same way, in my case, they can ask the same question. Even though I had an earlier visa, that doesn't make me any different. He's going to still ask me questions. I need to still answer them. So there's nothing I can do. That is Bhuta. So what Buddha is saying, explain to them about what is and what is not. So when I go to the embassy, their job is to stop me from going to US. Because they feel, for them, they have been told, every person who seeks this B1, B2 visa is a potential immigrant. So stop him. Just doing their job. So then there's no need for me to get upset. So they might have that view that this person who is coming here, don't allow him. They don't care whether you are coming for this or that or whatever. So my thing should be Bhuta, what is real. Hey, my dear friend, I'm not there to stay in US forever. And then I need to go on giving documentary proof. That is the Bhuta. When he sees the documentary proof, he knows this guy is not faking. Real. Visa is granted. So this is what Buddha is saying, that if you get upset that they are criticizing me or the superior is criticizing, he's not criticizing, he's critically examining it. While Brahmadatta, who is a student, has already understood what is Buddha Dhamma Sangha. So he's talking positive of it. So don't just get happy because of Brahmadatta is saying this, and don't get upset that his teacher Supriya is doing this. Both are wrong. That's what he says. And he says in the next one, if others praises me, the teaching, don't make yourself thrilled, elated, and excited. Mama va bhikkhave pare vannam bhaseyum dhammasya va vannam bhaseyum sangasya va vannam bhaseyum tatrate tumehi asattha anandino sumana upalit upali upaliyavita tumham eva satena antarayo. You feel so happy, you start rolling over. Enjoy. Don't do that. Can't do this, can't do that. Just see what is real. So I can't like the consulate or I dislike the consulate. I can't like peace officers or I dislike. Since I had an earlier visa, I can't say I had a visa. But how dare they ask me question? No, they can ask question. It doesn't matter. You establish your proof, right? The proving is with you, not with them. So don't get upset. Provide proof. Provide information. If they have this strong understanding that you're going to be a potential immigrant, prove them by documentation that you are not. That's it. He doesn't have any personal grudge at you to not give you a visa, nor I have anything to do with US. Even though I might like US, that's okay. But I don't have any personal thing about US, nor any hatred towards US. So if I were to stay like that, then what happens? Teachers too, both are doing what they should be doing. What are they doing? They are going by what is real, what is unreal, that will cut the personality itself. So we will end here. So we just took 1 full hour only on the first portion at how a teacher and a student should be. A teacher can ask 100 questions to the student. Student can ask a million questions to, like what Aryu keeps on asking or somebody keeps on asking. So then the student has to say whether the teacher was upset. And the teacher has to say if the student is upset. Because if both are upset, it means that they are not seeing the truth. They're seeing something which they think is the truth, which is not the truth. So it requires good amount of patience. Why? Because you're not seeing from a person, you're seeking from the truth. Yes, are you?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, seeing the truth, you will never get upset by people challenging the truth. But thinking you know the truth, but still have doubts yourself, and when other people question it, you feel upset because you have to protect your view.
That's true.
And another thing is, I think I was thinking if you ever argue with like a elementary school student, yourself is at the level of the elementary student.
Exactly. I mean, you are not grown. As a teacher, if I argue at that level, it means teacher and student are the same. So the student can say, I have a student, but that idiot doesn't understand, thinking he's a teacher. Or, you in the school, you make somebody as a class representative and he thinks that he's a teacher for that day or for that month, and he starts bossing her. That's what would always remember we need to go towards truth. Is it true? Not about what he said. No. Is it true? If it is true, doesn't matter whoever says it. It's the truth. Truth is truth. False is false. Now, it's not my truth. It's just the truth. After sunrise, would there be a sunset? Yes, definitely yes. No, I don't agree. Whether you agree or disagree, the sunset is sunset. In the same way, truth is truth. It doesn't change. Like you need a visa to go to a country. Simple. That's the truth. Whether you want to go for work, you want to go for fun, you want to go for business, you want to go for whatever, studies or this and that or whatever. You can have 100 reasons, but basically, you need to have a visa. If you want to have a visa, the person who wants the visa has to be prepared. That's the truth. It can be anyone. Oh, you need to prepare. If you prepare, you get the visa. If you're not prepared, you might not get the visa. Because there's no preparation. Because there's no documentation. So documentation is the bhuta in this case. So in the same way, Buddha is saying, have the bhuta. Don't get involved. Tomorrow we are not meeting. Monday we can meet. Monday, not meeting again. Meet on Monday. Monday, I'll be in the office area. So if you are going to be around, we can. Okay. Any questions before we close? Yes, sir, you.
Yeah, I just have one comment. I think Confucius said something like, if there's a three-person walking, or one of them will be my teacher, right? In that way, he doesn't mean this person necessarily is higher than wisdom than him, but something he can see, like he may not be able to see.
Exactly.
Right? In that sense, he's a teacher. So even if I argue with, like, say, who I think is a normal person, but sometimes they say something that's true, actually, and then he could see something I'm saying is wrong, and I should take that as a teacher in
Yes,
that
absolutely.
moment. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So as far as the truth goes, you can have a teacher. Because you're seeking truth and nothing else. See, why are we meeting? We are not meeting for fun. We're meeting to know the truth. So you are spending your time and money and donation, etc., for the truth. You're not giving to the person. You have no person to give a donation. You're giving it to the Dhamma. So the teacher, if he is not on Dhamma, he is injury to himself by claiming to be one. So a teacher becomes by action, not by designation. So because he's leading, he's doing it, people can see it. If he claims I'm doing it and he does the other way around and then still claims that he's still doing it, it means he's deluded, basically, which is untruth. Now the thing comes, is he worth of any kind of donation? Why? Because he's not doing what he is, means he's lying. Right? That's the reason yesterday I said, you is whatever you're given, it belongs to you. Why? It's not mine. Simple. Because you didn't donate to me, you donated to the Dhamma. It belongs to the Dhamma. So who should get the merit of the donation? You. I will get donation. I will get merit by sharing Dhamma. I am not getting merit by being your friend or whatever we have set a relationship. I am getting my merit due to Dhamma and you are getting merit due to Dhamma. That's all what it is. So you became happy at let the Dhamma be spread. You have done what is in your power, in your share. You have donated it. Like that. So we also have now took a land. The land is for Dhamma, not for me. So when this builder asked me that it doesn't matter, I said, no, it matters. If I'm personally buying it, there's no problem. But if I'm buying for Dhamma, it matters. You can't say it doesn't matter because that doesn't belong to me. And what doesn't belong to me, I can't take it. So I can only buy this much of the property. Right. I can't go back to the donor saying that pay more. I don't mind even not buying it because it doesn't belong to me. So when you or Bobby or anyone comes there, that place, pure, can't be tainted. That place, irrespective of the other people are not, doesn't matter. But your mind is pure, so the land is pure. Then it can be verified like that. So in whatever actions we do, we need to see This leads to this and this leads to that. Okay, yeah, this leads to this. Good. Okay, carry on. This doesn't lead to that. Stop. So it should always be Bhashita. Yes. Yes, Neetaji. Okay. Fine then. Shall we end? Hey, anyone in this Hindi group wanted to have some question or no question? Seems to be silence. Means no question. Okay, great. All right. Good day to everyone. Bye bye.